Even though we added our spawn system for the walls, we are still not done with it yet. We have to add some finish line to it, and we will detect when we hit the right color with our ball and when we hit the wrong color. But before we do that, we're going to create an empty game object that we're going to call finish line. We're going to reset its position, and we're going to add another game object inside of that finish line. And that will be called just a line. Now inside of our line, we're going to have our mesh filter, so mesh filter, and we're going to have our mesh renderer, just like this. As for the mesh filter, we're searching for the third model from the top, or actually, is it third? Yep, it's third from the top. And we are putting material to be finish line, like this. Scale it a bit, and of course it's not the third, it's the second one, my bad. Now this looks like a skinny one finish line, so we're gonna pump up Z to 2, and we are gonna add some box collider to it, so we can detect when our ball passes through. So this box collider is kind of too big, so let's just narrow it down a bit. Where is the dot? Like this. Let me just add the same Z position as it needs to be. And of course, we're just going to put it a bit more on the Y, because there is where our ball is going to pass, not below, but actually above. And pretty much that will be it for our finish line. Before I continue, I'm just going to add a tag that will be called finish line. And I'm going to tag our finish line with it. And I'm just going to move it a bit in front. Now, to actually put our finish line somewhere, we will have to go to our game controller. We will have to add our public game object that we will call finish line. I mean, you can go ahead, put it private if you'd like to, and then reference it, but I'm just going to keep it as public. And then we're going to say here, if our I is less or equals to wall spawn number, then we're going to say that our finish line dot transform dot position equals to new vector 3, which will be 0, then 0.03 for the Y, so it's visible, and then Z on the Z position. Now what's this going to do? Well, basically this is going to check whenever is our I is less or equals to our spawn number, it will go and execute this code. And once it reaches the limit, the Z will be in front, like in front of every wall, and then we're going to spawn our finish line. So let me go ahead and put our finish line to our inspector here, and I can show you that we are spawning our finish line last in the game, in the scene. You can see there is finish line. If you go, you can see it's the last. Where are the walls? Last from the walls. It's kind of a bit further away. So now we can go ahead and play some game. Now as you can see, right now we're spawning everything, but our ball does nothing. And today is the day we change that. Now go ahead and open up our ball function, and here we're gonna add our void on trigger enter 2D. So on trigger enter, not 2D, my bad, of course. We are having a 3D model, so no 2D here, target. So, and first we're gonna check if our game object, so if our, target dot tag equals to hit, then we're gonna print we hit it, or just we hit the wall, just like that. Then if we hit the target dot tag finish line, or we can even say target dot compare tag. I see this is used a lot, so finish line, it doesn't matter, it's doing the same thing, it's just what you prefer. And here we're gonna say print level up, because we finished our level, or level success, never mind. And last but not least, we haven't added our target dot target.tag equals to fail. We haven't added that yet, but we're gonna do it. Let's say game over. And we're gonna add that in our game controller, or actually in the wall, when we are spawning the wall. When we spawn the second wall, we want to say that our wall2.tag equals to fail. And right now we'll go to our Unity and add one more tag, which will be our fail tag. So add tag, we'll add our fail tag. Now you can see that we are working with our, with our onTrigger enter. So for that, we have to have our sphere collider, or actually any collider. Now, to detect a collider with a collider, we need to have rigid body, and if it's trigger, we have to put it to be a trigger. Right now, if I were to test things out and test if I hit the wall, will it do anything? And if I do it, nothing happens, like nothing at all. It's because we don't have rigid body. If I were to add right now rigid body and remove the gravity and test it, you can see that we hit wall and we are not having that we failed, but you can see that it is detecting collision. Why is that? Well, because we cannot detect collision without our rigid body. So go ahead, add rigid body and remove gravity from it. Now we have a problem that our tag isn't going in our wall. So wall2.tag equals to fail. Okay, that's fine. Or actually it's wall.gameObject.tag equals to fail. That may do the thing. Let me see. Let's go to wall 1, wall 2. Okay, we are tagging it even with this, but the real problem is that our wall 2 does not have any colliders, and we will have to add that from our script. So go ahead to our wall, and then once we have added everything, I'm gonna go here and say, actually I'm just gonna go ahead and put this here so it's a bit more organized, you know what I'm saying? I like to keep it that way when it comes to my code. So let's say wall2.gameObject.add component, and we're adding our box collider. Now that we have added our box collider, we have to resize it properly. For right now, the resizing will be to go to Unity and test it out. Of course, I do not have that in my mind, or I do not have it like prepared, but you will go and add our wall. Where is it? I mean, come on, play a game. I mean, you do not have to pause it, just play the game, go to the wall, add like a box collider to the wall 2. I mean, we already added it, and then edit it out like how you would not want that wall to be. Now, I'm just gonna add it here, because I think I said it, I don't have it prepared, but I really do not know why I did that. So we're gonna get component. So wall2.get component, and I can always remove the game object. I do not know why I'm even adding it. So box collider dot size equals to new vector 3 actually, which will be 0.9 on the x, 1.85 on the y, and 0.2 on the z. Now wall2.get component and actually box collider dot center equals to new vector 3, which will be 0.46f, and then 0 and 0 for the y and z. With that, we added a box collider, and now if we by any chance go over our wrong color or the fail color, we will see that we failed. But if you go here, you can see, where is it? We added it in this way. I mean, okay, this isn't bad. Maybe we can go a bit more to the Z, but actually, no. Actually, I'm pretty much satisfied with it. I mean, like, no way we could hit here with our ball and not die. Like, that's almost impossible. I'm gonna try right now. And as you can see, it says game over, and we hit the wall. But you can see, the thing is, it's working. Like, every time I miss a color, it's gonna say it. Now, why do we have like multiple we hit fault and only one game over? That's a really good question if you had one. That is because our collider on the wall, when we hit, it's based on the wall fragments, and there are like 100 or actually 50 wall fragments, and they are right at each other, meaning that we are going to activate more at once. And here we only have one box collider. That is our at wall 2. So yeah, guys, that will be it for this video. Hope you like it and prepare for the more when it comes to the next video.